Okay. Okay. So we are. Hey Samuel. Yeah, we're outside the Barnes and Noble down here on Murray Street in Tribeca. As you see in the description, Anthony Cumia is going to be basically doing a book signing for his book today at this location. From what I know, a number of people have called their media department, have called their store manager in protest to them actually hosting this book signing here. One of the main reasons is he has a strong connection to individuals such as Gavin with the Proud Boys. Also a number of racist slants that have taken place over the years. Just take a look at his Twitter account. And you will see without a doubt that he's someone who promotes and uses their position as a way to promote hate. And there's no place in New York City or New York State for hate of any type, period. The fact that this book is basically being promoted and glorifying the fact that he got fired because of his hate speech, that's not, just ain't right. I mean, even when calling their offices, their 800 number, a number of their employees were not happy with the fact that he's actually doing a book signing here. What can you say? It's one of those things that needs to change. And obviously Barnes and Noble isn't going to, make a difference, isn't going to make a change about that. NYPD has come by to check things out, but basically it's been Barnes and Noble security keeping an eye on things. They basically call NYPD if they think there is a large enough number and they need to have someone out here. Based on NYPD's pattern, they'll probably send about 2 cars down just to do like sidewalk patrol and say you can't block the doorways, etc., etc. But those of you who remember the Proud Boys over at the Republican Club, the NYPD has a tendency to protect racist, Islamophobic, hate, female beating pieces of trash a number of times, especially if they have the label Proud Boys on them. So the idea of this event going on basically occurred because a number of people mentioned that he was going to be holding the book signing here. And in order to join in solidarity with this, we wanted to at least make a statement. Right now there's about 7 people down here. A few people are here, a few people are inside without signs. He's expected to be here and actually start doing his book signing at 6 o'clock. So he should be arriving here in a little bit if he's not already here. And we just want to make this statement, educate the people that you have a white supremacist that's coming here to do a book signing. Now, I know there's a number of people who are supposed to be coming down also today. If you're watching and you're nearby, definitely come on down. He's right to the next, right next to the kids section. Book signing. White supremacist Anthony Cumia is being hosted upstairs for a book signing. And it's unacceptable. He literally assaulted his wife 2 years ago. Heard it. Um, a large percentage of his audience, Gavin with the Proud Boys, Anthony actually helps to promote that show, and someone was saying also produced the show for Gavin. So I can't say, even if he's not calling himself a Proud Boy, he definitely is a strong supporter of the Proud Boy agenda. And I'll be honest, there was a debate initially about whether or not to do this, whether or not it would only help to draw attention towards his book signing. But, you know, the necessity outweighed the impact it might have. And as you can see, once they started streaming, Barnes & Noble security basically went inside.
Yeah, I'm not shopping. You're welcome. Barnes & Noble is hosting a white supremacist named Anthony Cumia, fired off of iHeartRadio and banned from Twitter. Anthony and Opie and Anthony. He's a huge racist, and he almost choked his wife to death. And he only served 6 months probation. He's getting a book signing upstairs and making money, which is unacceptable.
Promoting why he got actually fired. So the idea of him making money off of...
His book is literally called Suspended. Permanently suspended.
He wouldn't be getting the book deal if it wasn't for the racist remarks and getting fired. Anthony Cumia.
Anthony Cumia. Fired
huge following.
Banned from Twitter for a racist tirade that he gave in 2017. I'm not going to repeat it, but I can show you all of it. Plenty of history.
It's CUMIA, Cumia. CUMIA, you can Google it. You have a cell phone? Okay. No racist. They got cell phones in all places. $5, $10. So you may not do everything, but you don't know it.
Okay, so right now, can anyone give me, actually, hold on, I had that myself. It's 5:39, so if his book signing is at 6 o'clock to start, he is either here already or on his way, just about ready to arrive. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm pretty sure some of his people are already down here. That I can be pretty sure of.
Say whatever he wants, they're giving him a platform and a book signing. You guys don't believe it. Hate is not free speech. Yes, it is. Hate is not free speech. They're hosting a white supremacist upstairs at Barnes & Noble.
This isn't, just for people who know, this isn't just a random thing based on one incident. There's a long track record and a long history of his interactions, not just his statements. It's like I said before, comedians are comedians. I understand that, and there are certain things that they say, whether you like it or not. Shock value, education, there are reasons behind it. But he's crossed the boundaries way too many times. And his huge rant regarding the one woman from Times Square was the thing that, you know, yeah, guys, this is exactly what I was talking about. So it's like,
White supremacist Anthony Cumia is upstairs for a book signing at Barnes & Noble. There's a literal white supremacist upstairs.
Hey, Gilbert. Yep.
White supremacist Anthony Cumia is posted upstairs.
Yep. No room in New York for hate from anyone. And fuck the Proud Boys. Yep.
White supremacists. Yeah.
Well, I did it intentionally.
Barnes & Noble is hosting a white supremacist in the kids section for
Well, you notice he walked off. The one guy sort of walked off. So, yeah.
Have you seen that guy who was taking pictures of us before?
No, but there are a whole different group of people who go to this Barnes & Noble and stuff. So.
No, the guy who was taking pictures of us, I wasn't sure if you had seen him around.
No, I haven't for that. He could have been doing it for the sign, just out of interest. I mean, you always keep it in your mind, back of your mind for future reference.
Exactly.
You know.
It's only like 12.
Well, I mean, that's why it's like sometimes I've had people. I've had people holding signs and then they get upset when someone takes a picture. I'm like, no, that's the idea. Not you, but others. I'm like, that's why you do
White
it.
supremacists being hosted upstairs at Barnes & Noble. White supremacists being hosted upstairs at Barnes & Noble.
Hey guys, yeah, we're outside Barnes & Noble down here on Murray, the Tribeca Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble is hosting a white supremacist.
Anthony Cumia is going to be down here doing a book signing at 6 o'clock. Main objective is basically just to draw awareness for people to know, you know, what's actually going on. We've had a number of people actually call Barnes & Noble corporate about this. Just that we feel there should never be a place for the promotion of hate, especially within New York City. We already have enough issues, and in the climate that the world is today, anything that glorifies hate or promotes anyone who glorifies hate in any way, shape, or form, you know, you need to draw attention to it, no matter how small or how large the numbers. And there's supposed to be about 30 people that are on their way down here. Whether they're here or not, this is going to be going on. Silence equals complicity, always.
Anthony Cumia, white supremacist, also misogynist and beat his wife to almost to death. Right, I feel like misogyny. It's also important, very important.
What's going on? Anthony Cumia.
White supremacist Anthony Cumia and his friends being here.
Okay, if you're in the area, definitely come on down. Like I said, we have a couple of people outside, a couple of people inside, but it would be nice to raise the numbers, and I know about 30 of you are supposed to be heading down here. The sooner you get down here, the better. Definitely will be happy. But like I said, we're going to be out here.
If I was to say, is that good or not good? White supremacists are not good. Stop hosting white supremacists.
If you can't make it down, give a call to Barnes & Noble Corporate, their PR department, their media department, their corporate numbers. You can use their 800 numbers. If you go on their website, you can definitely find the numbers, and actually think there actually may be the cell phone numbers also. The managers for this location and the managers for Barnes & Noble Corporate. Give them a call. Let them know how, you know, if you're unhappy with it, give them a call.
No to Anthony Cumia profiting off with his hate train.
In 2017, he was arrested for assault. time, he wrote a book about the racist, and he's book signing for it. Right now, 6 o'clock.
No to white supremacy.
Right by the kids section. There's 4 people waiting in line.
I mean, to make money off of,
The racism is the extra.
you know, that's just.
Brother, anybody have anything to say? I'm Anthony Cumia's brother. Anybody have anything to say to me?
We have a right to protest.
No, for real.
No, I honestly would like to hear the side. That's why it was like a debate about whether to do it.
No, you see, the thing is, we don't come to places that people are employed. We don't come to where people earn their living and make it impossible for them to do so, including every race. There's not a single person of color, an Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. There's no one that Anthony has ever prevented from making their living.
Okay.
What he does.
But hold on.
White supremacists
So you're gonna tell me,
What does
that
so
mean?
explain to me.
Therefore, he's not.
I mean, I honestly like to know both sides. You know what I
Wait a
mean?
second. Why do you?
What's your name, sir? Sir, excuse
Why do
me.
you classify him as a white supremacist?
Because let me
Why?
ask you a question.
Why?
I'll
What has he done?
I'll
What has
explain to
he
you.
done to prove his white supremacy?
Tweets right here.
I'd love to hear.
I have the tweets
Go ahead,
right here
say it.
where he used the N-word.
Go ahead.
He also called O.J. Simpson a spook.
So you're saying that speech makes you a white supremacist. You're saying that speech. No.
Hold on. And then you employ
White supremacists being hosted here for a book signing. Ask his brother any questions you may
a non-white
have.
supremacist?
Yes, he does.
White supremacists being
Are you talking
hosted
about
here for
Gavin?
book signing.
Gavin McGinnis?
Well, Gavin's a whole other. Guys, don't get in an argument on Gavin because.
You guys know where the Proud Boys came from? Do you know
Yeah.
where it came from?
Yeah, I trust people
Because
with it.
my name is Joseph Cumia.
Joseph Cumia.
Yeah, I'm Anthony's older brother.
And I also understand the separation, why they pulled away from the original groups and stuff. I know.
The original
That was a whole other.
group who has since become classified due to several bad seeds. There were some people in there that were genuinely bad people.
Thank you.
They were genuinely bad people. What happened was they were the ones that made the Proud Boys become what people have now that people now know them to be. When it started, it was a joke in the studio. Had to do with Ben Ratner, and it was a play. Proud of My Boy, a song was playing Proud of My Boy. And Gavin, when Gavin was working, they used to goof on Ben, saying, you know, how his parents were proud of him for doing what he does. And Ben Ratner, by the way, has since won a Grammy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that has, you know, yeah. Are you gonna believe an 82nd Airborne veteran, 59-year-old father of 4?
So it's a father.
Or you gonna believe her?
But you're going to protect your brother no matter what. I respect that. I respect that.
I will protect anyone that deserves protection.
Okay.
Whether or not he's my brother, what I'm doing, he's not a racist. He's so
You are then why would you employ one?
I
don't care, why would you employ one?
Saying a whole bunch of racist shit and white
I can't. I'd like to hear. I'd like to
talking
hear
to me?
your
I'm not
Why would you
definition.
employ one?
What's your definition of a racist?
there's a recording. So that's why
No. Your definition.
That's why
What
he's
is it
big.
that Gavin has done
He wrote a book
that
about
makes
it.
him a
And
racist?
now
If
he's
you
selling
read what the Proud Boys do,
money off of it.
No, Proud Boys don't belong to Gavin McGinnis.
bullshit. Then why was he at a fucking event on 86th?
At the
Why was he
Republican
at
Club.
an event on 86th Street a motherfucking month ago and pulling out a sword and then hanging with a bunch of white supremacists in the middle of the street telling people, let's fight.
Not white supremacists.
They're not. Look at the fucking page. Go to their website.
Get angry with me? Come on, calm down. Have a debate, have a discussion. You know.
Anyone who's not aware of the incident that happened at the Republican Club actually needs to take a look at it. Because the reality is what happened at the Republican Club, the guy in the red hat is 100% right about what happened there.
He has the right to call him racist. I have a right to call him a moron.
That's exactly
White
right.
supremacists and
Everybody has all those rights.
Call them and tell them it's bad. White supremacists being hosted at Barnes and Nobles. White supremacists being hosted at Barnes and Nobles for a book signing.
Joseph, what do? Are you part of Anthony's business, or are you actually on the other business?
Look at Thomas.
You're a vet. You said you're a vet.
What was that?
You're a vet. You said you're a veteran.
I am 82nd Airborne. Yeah, I was
White supremacists being
77 days ago.
hosted here at Barnes and Nobles for a book signing. No platform for white supremacy.
So there are two sides to every story's going on.
Right.
Things.
Barnes and Noble should never have a white supremacist in their store. Ever. Oh, but Anthony Cumia is not a white supremacist. So you're mistaken. They should also not have liars standing out in front of their store saying things that aren't true.
You shouldn't have a liar for a president, yo. Shit doesn't happen that way.
A liar for a president? Wait a second. Wait a second. So you're saying since Trump is a liar, you're allowed to be here and be a liar?
We're against hatred.
Why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a mask?
Since that man has become president, hatred has sprung up in America. America is not for hatred.
Hatred's always been in America. It's this less.
And now it's getting put under a lens.
It's less now than there ever was.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Don't you see life as it is? You ever get out for one? You ever go anywhere? Where have you been? Where have you been?
Why is that any business of yours? Because you
I'm
think
trying
you're
to
older.
understand what
Because you
you're
think you're more
facing.
traveled,
I'm
right?
trying to understand what you're facing.
Because you're more traveled. You're right. That's right.
I'm right about my brother.
Your brother is an unabashed racist. He's
unabashed
profiting from his racism right now.
Thank you, Kat, for putting up the number. Yeah, and in some people's eyes, yeah, Anthony could be classified as a white supremacist. Does he have racist tendencies? Yes. Was he fired because of racist remarks? Yes. Whether or not, it just depends on who you're talking about, how you classified white supremacist versus just a racist. So it's two different sides.
You know what? There could be something there.
Am I a shadowy network? It's fucking cold. I ain't got no Apparently, that's what he thinks.
He runs compound.
You got hats, I ain't got no hats. That's all I got.
So you're gonna tell me that he's not racist? I'm gonna give you a Facebook page. I'm gonna give you ProudBoysExact.com website.
I don't care about
his name's sitting right the fuck on there. Come on now. His name is on there.
Nothing to do with what he's doing.
Can I get a line?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of room, and no one's.
This is very unimportant.
Well, people always get nervous. I'm like, just walk through.
Okay, I'm not.
He hosts a web. If you're not a racist, I'm asking you a question. Then why would you let Gary just have a TV show on your channel?
First of all, it's not a TV show.
He has a TV show. He has a TV show.
One thing I will say is the idea of debate, people actually talking, is what needs to happen a lot more. It doesn't happen. You don't have to agree with each other, but at least if you can hold a conversation.
I can call you a racist. Does it make you a racist?
He's at the UFC fight with Joe Rogan. He's at the fight because Joe Rogan gave him the seat. Who is a known racist? Joe Rogan's a known racist.
How is he a known? What has he done to people of color? Who is he racist against? First of all, does he believe that his race is so much better than every other race that makes him a racist? Well, tell me what he does to prove his race.
Call Barnes and Noble's national not to host white supremacists.
So I'm not understanding what you're trying to say, how you're trying to define a racist. If you call me a guinea, if you call me a wop, does that make you a racist?
Yes.
It does?
Yes!
According to this WAP,
So, yeah, and they posted up the number.
White supremacists being
Those
hosted
were
upstairs
racist
at
statements
Barnes and
you
Nobles.
used against.
Call Barnes and Noble's national not to
Yeah, all I'd say is for everyone also,
Racism exists in language.
because I always believe that there are two sides to every story, is to definitely do your research. Don't just follow along because we're saying it or anyone is saying it or protesting. Do your own research, and not just, a basic Google search, but actually read articles and get a background about everything, so that you have a better understanding about why people are doing what they're doing. It's important. It's not just about taking what people say, but also about understanding what's going on out there. The gentleman over there who happens to be Anthony's brother, it may seem confrontational, but he's having an actual dialogue. It's not something that's physical, it's an actual discussion going on back and forth. And even though it can be arguments, it's still a plain, simple discussion that's going on, which is important. But, like I said, don't just take the word of what we're saying. Research, formulate your own opinions about it.
Discussions are what problems with the world. Yes. I wish you use that word toward you or toward anyone else. Any other person will call it. It would absolutely.
Okay, so I know currently a lot of you are calling Barnes & Noble corporate.
So words aren't racist. Okay.
Racist. As I was mentioning to the audience, I was saying that I want them to do their own research because it's like.
If I call someone and that's a racist.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like you're racist and then you have white supremacists. It's a borderline thing, but I still want people to do their own research regardless, because you have to formulate your own opinions about it. Is there hate involved? Is there racist hate? Yes, 100%. My thing is do the research and decide whether white supremacists or just your garden variety, normal, all-American, racist. And look at the connections with the Proud Boys and their actions. And even though the Proud Boys are divided into two groups now, you have those that wouldn't allow anyone other than white, whatever, in there. And then you have those that are in the other group, which Gavin is a part of, which is accepted people who were black, Asian, and almost any other ethnic group. But that happened with the skinheads as well. So that doesn't mean there isn't this festering hate and destructiveness that's been festering in the country for a long time.
People out here, and there will be cops as well.
I agree with you. Of a book signing. He can write in the Senate anything he wants, sell it.
Yes. Yes.
And don't you think that should
because
be,
Gavin McGinnis is on his
don't you
website.
think that should be up to Barnes & Noble whether or not they have
Gavin
him?
McGinnis is on his website.
Do you think you've done more research than Barnes & Noble? Have you done more research than Barnes & Noble?
And let's them
All right then.
Posted upstairs for a book signing.
He can write anything. He can write and hold anything he wants. Doesn't mean that people can't go against what he reads, what he writes. It's not a Hitler wrote what he wanted. Hitler wrote a book. Hitler wrote what he wanted, right?
Do you understand that what you do is more detrimental? What you do is more detrimental to him than anything he's ever done to you or any other person. Or any other person. He can write whatever he'd like to write.
because he's
Not to say that anything that he's written is inappropriate. It's a book about his life story. It's his life story as a DJ. Basically coming from nothing and making something of himself. That's what the book is about. Just so that you're not misled. Just so this guy doesn't mislead you. The book is about someone who made good from nothing. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with white supremacy. And I'd like everyone to know that. This book has nothing to do with white supremacy at all. Her opinion is that my brother is a white supremacist. That's her opinion and her opinion only. I have an opinion. He's not.
White supremacy.
How's that?
Upstairs for a book
That's
signing.
clear. That's clear.
Yeah.
Very clear, sir.
I thought it was. I can't be any more
White
clear than
supremacists
that.
Very
being
clear,
posted
very
upstairs
clear.
for a book signing. Call Barnes and Nobles and tell them
I would
wrong.
buy you Starbucks just to have a 5-minute conversation with you.
I'm not interested.
I didn't think you would be. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't be either, but you know.
You lost the other guy. Who's gone, right?
Barnes and Nobles posted a white supremacist for a book signing. Call and tell them it's wrong.
But it wasn't.
Well, this was good.
Barnes and Nobles is hosting white
Well, I
supremacists
mean,
for a
like I
book
said,
signing.
the fact that people are talking is a good
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's important, man.
Barnes and Nobles is
People
hosting a
need to
white
hear the
supremacist
views.
for a book
I mean, if it was a bunch of
They need
Trump,
to hear the views. Yeah.
the Trump groups, it would be,
Just
You know.
programmed. And it's absolutely amazing. Okay, good luck with your protest. Have fun. See you later, guys. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
the
sir.
equal time.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
okay, again, that was his brother. He's always going to protect his brother no matter what. I mean, anybody would do that, ideally protect family. And he's going to defend his brother no matter what. Okay. Like I said, everyone's definition, white supremacists or all-grown, all-American, homegrown racists, you know, those are the two choices. And based on his track record, even forgetting about his associations, if you just go on the track record of what he said, what he has done, you know, he definitely fits into the racist category. And if he's going ahead saying it's like, well, he has black friends, that does not mean that you are not a racist just because you happen to have black friends or Asian friends. You can still be a racist and have black friends. I know a lot of people that have black friends, but they're not necessarily going to go take them home to dinner or marry. You know, it's the guy in the red hat. He was some nut that just happened to be going by. Oh, he's here again.
Really? It's okay?
Well, they're related. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, can I tell you? I'm with you. Oh, awesome. Can you call Barnes and Nobles also and tell them?
I'm gonna tell them on
Awesome.
That's a serious statement. You don't get a picture for free.
Well, yeah.
That's right.
Call Barnes and Nobles and tell them.
You need to be scared again. I don't know why they're not.
It's true.
White supremacists being hosted upstairs, kids section, Barnes and Nobles.
Oh man, that was good.
In the kids section. That's
That's
the
the
kids
thing.
section.
That's what I was saying.
They put them right next to the kids section.
man.
I mean, the fact that he beat his wife,
White supremacists and
the fact that he beat his wife should negate him from being over near the kids section.
It shouldn't be in the kids section.
Yeah, it shouldn't be there at all, but that's really a good one.
You know,
That's a good one. You know, of all places, why do you put him next to the kids? Jesus Christ.
I mean, and
Next to the board.
they were right. It's like he has a right to write a book. He has a right to promote the book. There's nothing against that. It's like I understand.
He has
It's
a
like you're
right to
telling
free
your
speech,
life.
and we do too.
But the issue is with them promoting
Yeah.
and giving a plaque, you know.
They also have the right to say no. They have a right to say
I mean,
no.
they would still
Just
carry
because
his
he wrote a
book.
book doesn't mean they have to
I mean,
promote it.
if they were just carrying his book, I wouldn't have an issue. It's like it's out there. That's
Yeah, but they got no platform. Right.
which is legitimizing hate, which is already happening under the current administration. And I spend enough time in D.C. to see and hear the conversations that are going on that the general public never hears.
Yeah, they're profiteering off the atmosphere that's been created.
Tell them not to host white
Yeah.
supremacists. Call Barnes Nobles. Tell them not to host the white supremacists upstairs, which they are. Anthony Cumia.
Well, I will tell you this, that Barnes & Noble is getting a lot of calls right now about this. If you look in the conversation thread, Kat actually added in the phone number. Okay, man.
Keep on with the coupon. Next time.
Stop hosting
Definitely.
white supremacists, which they are right now with Anthony Cumia being hosted in the kids section for a book signing. Not kidding. White supremacists being hosted upstairs for a book signing. White supremacists don't deserve book signings. Categorically.
Okay, with everyone that's supposed to be down here, if they're not down here within over the next 30, 40 some minutes, we're probably going to end the event early. Just out of lack of numbers.
He's giving him a platform for that. And it's in the kids section. I didn't have a white supremacist in the kids section. That's racist.
Right now. Anthony Cumia's upstairs. Is he upstairs?
Yeah. No, his brother, yeah, he's up there with his brother's here.
Yep.
Fuck, you hire a white supremacist.
Well, I know. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's numbers upon numbers.
So like, my grandmother.
NYPD, well, First Precinct wasn't going to send anyone down unless Barnes & Noble said there was a large enough number, and I just know that out of habit. And I think part of that is because, yeah, when I went out through my group, they know who's putting this together, and they know basically I try to avoid any major thing that's going to be too out of hand, especially something like this. Now, if you had a huge group of the Proud Boys show up, like the ones that were at the Republican Club, that would be another issue. That would be a no-holds-barred throwdown out here. No, thank you for sharing that out and getting people to call. I appreciate that. I know people have been calling ahead of time also. And they said the exact same thing. You said that, you know, Barnes & Noble, you know, people are happy to go ahead and take the calls and take the input from people in the community about this book signing.
Don't go to Barnes Noble.
They're hosting the white supremacists. Call them and tell them how that makes
There's no room in New York for hate.
Hopefully it's not good. I hope you don't feel good about that. Call Barnes Noble. Tell them to stop hosting white supremacists.
And yes, I will be looking at the book, but I will be looking at it online. I will not be contributing to it.
I love how his brother says it.
He made it in MS Paint, so it doesn't.
His brother made it a fucking thing. A brother made it a thing right here.
Well,
His brother made it a whole.
the only thing I will say, at least it wasn't a violent, you know,
No, it's just
a
a talk.
physicals, and
No,
that's,
he just talked.
but that's good.
Anthony Cumia, white supremacist.
Because some people look at it as like,
For a book signing. Tell Barnes Noble how you feel about that.
Oh, they don't care.
I know they don't care, but I have to tell them anyway.
I can tell.
all right. Oh, I just realized they do have access, don't they? Yeah. I just realized.
Never buy a thing out of Barnes Noble in my life.
It's over because I called them. And they said, we know he's a white supremacist. We're still hosting him. Call Barnes and Nobles and tell them to not host white supremacists, please? Sure. Thank you. Like they have one right now. So
Barnes and Noble corporate said they know he's a white supremacist and they're still hosting him?
Yes! They know he's a white, they told me that on the phone.
So Barnes and Noble on the phone said they know that he's a white supremacist, but they're still going to host him.
Extra security.
That's why they hired extra security upstairs.
Hosting upstairs for a book signing. Call Barnes and Noble and tell them not to do that.
Oh my God.
Barnes and Noble shouldn't host white supremacists.
So basically Barnes and Noble is saying he is a white supremacist. Oh.
White supremacists being hosted upstairs for a book signing.
And Barnes and Noble actually has said he's a white supremacist.
Call them to tell them how you feel.
Wow. So that's an even more of a statement.
Call Barnes and Noble to tell them how you feel about them hosting a white supremacist.
So yeah, keep the calls going into corporate. They hired extra security.
Upstairs, can you call Barnes and Noble and tell them not to do that? Call
Well,
them now, please.
Barnes and Noble knows he's a white supremacist. They said it.
Barnes and Noble knows it.
It's like they've hired all this extra security to be down here. Yeah. He's just doing his job. But they're doing it because they want to protect the white supremacists. The same thing that the happened with the NYPD over at the Republican Club is happening here. There seems to be this climate of protect the white supremacists. Something that if you talk to if you've been in this country long enough and you have relatives that fought in World War II, you realize that they fought against Nazi Germany, white supremacy, all of that, died for it in order to bring it down. And now you have a country and a generation that's actually protecting white supremacists. It's like, really? And Barnes and Noble has point blank said they know he is a white supremacist, but they're still going to host him. So call Barnes and Noble, let them know that you're not happy.
No book signings for white supremacists, Barnes and Noble.
That's what
I will say, a lot of them.
Is there another piece of cardboard over there?
Yeah, right over there. Pens and paper. Yeah.
No book signings for white supremacists. I mean, they can't have a lot of things. Like,
Well, the fact.
I don't want them to have joy or
No.
happiness.
Well, they're getting a lot of calls.
Fulfillment.
They're
White
getting.
supremacists upstairs at Barnes and Nobles. You call them and tell them not to, like they are right now. That it's bad. And hosting a white supremacist is a bad thing in Barnes and Nobles. They're hosting a white supremacist upstairs. Anthony from Opie and Anthony is a white supremacist. He's being hosted upstairs for a book signing. No book signings for white supremacists.
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble, call them and tell them to stop hosting white supremacists.
And I was like, Skylar? Don't you mean Tyler?
No place in this country, in this state, for a white supremacist, period.
He's upstairs for a book signing, and he's a white supremacist.
And Barnes and Noble said that they know he's a white supremacist. That's the reason they hired more security for his book signing.
I'm like, it's on lockdown up there.
It is?
Yeah.
And I didn't know why.
Because Anthony Cumia is a white supremacist who was banned from Twitter for being a white supremacist, and then wrote a book about it, and is now selling it at Barnes and Noble and signing it. And he's a white supremacist.
So, from what we're hearing from people on the inside is that they have his book signing on a lockdown with all the extra security.
Anthony Cumia from Opie and Anthony got banned from Twitter for being a racist, wrote a book about it, and is selling it. Barnes and Noble is hosting the white supremacist. Anthony Cumia, right now.
Okay, if everyone share this feed out, because like I said, there's a number of people who are supposed to have been coming down. Yeah, it would be nice to get a larger number of people on down here. Yeah, we need to make a statement. In addition to the calls, we need to make a statement down here.
Yes! Oh, I don't even know if I want to be in there. I'm not gonna shit.
Can you
I'll give you the number right here. Because someone's been posting it out on there.
There we go.
Upstairs right now.
Wait, what is it? 2 and 2?
No sightings for white supremacists. Barnes and Noble, stop posting white supremacists.
And that's got to be for here.
Say no more. Say no more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Barnes and Noble is hosting a white supremacist. Tell them it's bad. Call them. Call Barnes and Noble and tell them to stop hosting white supremacists. Call Barnes and Noble. Tell them white supremacists are bad. You shouldn't post them for book signing.
He said he was pulling the cut, so I circled this off.
Tell Barnes and Noble to stop posting white supremacists for book signings. Pretty basic.
Yeah, if you're in New York,
You don't have to post white supremacists
we're
for book
1 block
signings.
from the Chambers Street,
Choose to not host them.
123 stop. Come on down. Even if you come on down for 15, 20 minutes, come on down. He's probably going to be up there doing the book signing from, well, he starts at 6. It's probably going to be going till 7, 7:30 maybe. I'm not sure how long book signings normally go. And it does depend on how many people are here. But yeah, make your voice heard. If you want, you know, go on inside. Things are on lockdown. But hey, also call Barnes and Noble. They're well aware of it. Even the people walking by laughing. That's how you can tell the difference.
Call Barnes and Noble. Tell them that's pretty basic.
Yeah, not in New York. Shouldn't be. You know, the fact that Barnes and Noble is aware of this fact, and there's no doubt that they're aware of the fact that they've hired all these extra security guards for his book signing. They don't even hire that many security guards for Hillary Clinton when she was doing a book signing.
No book signings for white supremacists.
No room for hate in New York.
Pretty basic. Call Barnes and Noble. Tell them to stop hosting white supremacists.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And they know it. That's why they
Oh, yeah, they know it. I know they know it.
Trust me, you're reaching a lot of people also online where people are calling, so
Oh, I'm so glad.
it's not just here. They're doing an amazing job. This would not be possible.
Barnes and Noble, tell them to stop hosting white supremacists, please. Call Barnes and Noble, tell them to stop hosting white supremacists.
Remember, sometimes the smallest actions have the largest impact. It's similar to the butterfly effect. One small thing has an impact that impacts people all over the world forever. And this is what's happening here. People will research, people will look, people will become educated. People will become more well-informed. And a little bit of history to throw in. I basically, if you go back 2 generations, I have a portion of my family that was actually in Nazi Germany, and on that part of the family line was an individual who helped to develop the weapons for Hitler and his people. So a lot of times when I hear people who are these professed white supremacists, no, they really have no idea, because most of them would not have been included within that category. The American white supremacists are a whole other ball game that would never have been included in what they glorify Nazi Germany. Just a little side note on that, but as far as this goes, yeah. And Barnes and Noble has admitted it online, and actually they said they know he's a white supremacist. They hired like 20 extra security guards. I mean,
It's not Antifa.
if you ever,
Antifa's not a group.
if you get a chance, If you get a chance, check out Opie and Anthony and Opie and Anthony, the show. He got fired from there because of all of his racist tweets and because of an incident in Times Square. And then he ended up beating the crap out of his wife. So it's like, and it's not about his book. Anyone can have a book, but you shouldn't be promoting white supremacy, you know. So, okay, I'm going to switch back over again. But Barnes & Noble, I told you, they basically were going to wait until they had to call NYPD. So they called the first precinct, I'm assuming, which had to send out 4 officers for 2 people, which is a little excessive. Timony, I know you're up there around Union Square, but I wish you were down here. You probably would have only sent down like 2 officers just to stand by and make sure people weren't blocking the doorways and stuff. But they also have 20 security guards upstairs with Barnes & Noble locked down around that. It's like excessive. Oh, anyone from City Hall or 1PP actually listening on the stream, as you guys always do. You know, because I know you guys tune in every once in a while. Or NYPD Legal, if you're tuning in, you know he tunes in. Both of them actually. A few of them that've been around for a long time. If you're tuning in on this, you know, call First Precinct and let them know they only need like 1 or 2 officers. And they can send at least 2 of them away. It would be nice. If the numbers increase, you'll see it on the stream. You know that. Sorry, guys. That's my rant to, you know, people in New York City government and NYPD. Tonight, I'm not going to mess with them. Normally, I would, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I think I put them through enough hell, or SRG through enough hell when we were doing Occupy ICE. I think they were getting a lot of flack when you had like those higher up actually watching my stream and pulling them back on a lot of things. But as far as this, tonight is about Anthony Cumia and his racist rants. Basically, there's no room in New York City for racist white supremacist ideals. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Trust me, nobody's gonna rush them. Why? It's like, guys, relax. Why would you think people are gonna rush people? This is only a couple of people. You got all those security people. Jesus. No one's gonna rush anybody.
It's all good.
It's like too many, way too many. Not even Hillary Clinton had these many when she was here.
Really don't deserve, white supremacists don't deserve book signings. They don't deserve joy, happiness.
Hold on a second. I know your brother I know your brother talked to us, but do you want to just anything? Okay. I just asked because he was giving his side, so I figured I'd ask. Okay. I mean, no, I respect the opinion.
Yeah, you're right. You're also one that said language is a racist. You're fucking racist. Fuck you too. What's up?
Okay, so for Anthony, we have this. So the book signing is over. I'm assuming part of it had to do with the thing here. So that was the reason for all of that. Basically, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10.
You fucking got that on video, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, can you send that to me? That's hilarious.
He got my fucking, he's like,
oh my god.
I don't know what I got. I just know it was in the areas, but
Yo, there was more cops than people who showed up to get their
it was
signed.
overboard with the security and stuff. I'll admit
and he
that.
had 10 cops.
That was overboard. When they were like there, I'm like, nobody's gonna jump anybody. Why? It was like,
It wouldn't be unprecedented if
no, but you understand what I'm saying. It was like 1, 2.
cops, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Manager is a common
They're always
retired
protected
cop.
by cops.
You do know that, right? Anthony's manager is a retired cop, so
That's why
the
over.
presence. I mean,
Yeah, because I was like, even Hillary didn't have them. That's when she was here. And I was like, okay.
We know cops protect racists. We saw them. Y'all protect racists. I protect everybody. No, you protect everybody. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you really protected everybody, you'd Y'all at 86th Street,
Yeah,
you
probably.
protect nobody. Y'all let people get beat up at 86th Street. So come on now, you ain't protect nobody. So don't really talk. Come on, don't really say you protect everybody.
Ask him if he needs to deal with me.
No, that I didn't hear.
That just happened because he said, no, she's my friend.
Well, he wouldn't do that because he wouldn't be dumb enough. Because I would live stream that, and I guarantee NYPD Legal would rip you a new asshole if that actually was recorded on here. Because no, seriously, if you mention Apollo to NYPD Legal, they will tell you, do not let me record you saying something, or you will get ripped a new asshole by NYPD Legal.
Why would he say she is my friend? Why would he talk about me? Unless Munoz was talking to him about whether or not he had to do something about me.
Yeah, it's possible.
You were right there. You recorded it. Go back
Well,
and
I'll
play
see.
that tape.
I'll end up seeing it. I'll end up seeing
I have
it.
no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's like basically saying that it's like he was asking you if you needed him to do anything about her.
Oh no.
No, she's my friend, right? No.
I would never do that.
No, you would never.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
No, he asked you if you needed him to do.
If he did, I didn't need any help, so it's a non-issue.
Yeah, that would have really been like.
I'm just waiting for my sister.
It's a good Barnes and Noble. It's a big Barnes and Noble. It's, go get something to eat, relax, you know.
It's really hysterical the way where they snowball over the years.
Shit gets built up. A lot of shit's been said. A lot. He's put a lot out there. Controlling that anger online is a big issue. You know that.
It is.
Oh, here you go, guys. In case you guys understand, I'll find out what company they're with. If it was DC, it would probably be BlackRock, and a lot of those guys I know. A lot of them are ex-military and have done different contract jobs, but yeah. But statements made. Yeah, I mean, definitely keep calling in. The numbers are up there. Like I said earlier, it's like World War II. You had so many Americans that fought to shut down Nazi Germany, the fascist systems there. And there are generations here in New York that don't understand that because they've lost touch. They've become spoiled because they didn't have to fight against any of that in their lives. And they're spoiled brats. Iraq was a war. The Middle East was a war. But what happened? World War II and they will never have an idea about. The fact that you have fascists and white supremacists rising in the United States, the shit is not happening, and that shit is not going into New York. If you ever watch the movie Casablanca, there is a scene where Rick is talking to the Nazi general, and then I says, would you ever envision us in your great America? And he said, well, there's certain parts of New York I wouldn't advise you to invade. In reality, New York does not stand for this shit. New Yorkers that are real New Yorkers would not stand for any of this shit. And if you ever think it's going to actually happen here, it isn't. New Yorkers, real New Yorkers will band together. They don't give a shit whether the police are protecting the white supremacists, the armies are. They will shut the shit down. It will not happen in this state. Statement's been made to Barnes & Noble. They got shit tons of calls in there. And the people that actually work for Barnes & Noble are actually glad to take all the calls. And actually, do you guys want me to give you a list of all the crimes that are happening in the area? I actually have that on a separate feed that you guys actually could be covering right now instead of being out here for something like this. This isn't why you guys became police officers, not to do this stuff. You actually came out here to shut down the robberies that are happening right now, the assaults, the car accidents, the drug deals that are going on.
A bunch of things are not at right now. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you could pull it up that you guys could actually be dealing with. And I'm being fair by saying that's really what you guys would really rather be doing. That's why you did it.
There's officers actually requesting assistance.
They're not going to run to it unless they get a command. There could be an officer getting shot around the corner and they will stand here until they're told to go there.
There's a machete branding right now. There's a pedestrian that was struck by a vehicle.
Pedestrian struck by a vehicle, and they're doing what they've been trained to do, stand there and just do this. Because they're scared we're going to rush in there even though Anthony is not in there right now. So they have to wait.
Right now at a laundry room.
No, that's not their job. No.
Okay, what about the two suspects just detained after a brief seclude right near her?
No. That's not near here.
Yeah,
it's not their jurisdiction. It's not their district. So.
Yeah, let me find it. Oh, Broadway's their jurisdiction because there's a bank robbery.
Nah. There's only two of them. They get shot and they're too scared of getting shot. You get shot once, it's actually not that bad afterwards. I mean, you have your buddy laying right next to you getting blown up.
I've been there. There's an assault right now. Okay, we can have. Hold on.
Oh, he's gone. Let him go.
Just been veterans Day with a shit ton of veterans from Korea, Vietnam, Iraq. Yeah, even they can't understand this shit when we were sitting around talking. Hey. Hey guys, I'd advise you guys to take a look at the feed from earlier. Yeah, these guys, they're just being stuck here right now. And a minute ago explaining to them that I'm pretty sure they didn't join the force to actually stand here because of two people outside Barnes & Noble. Considering they still have about 10 extra hired security guards inside, there really isn't anything going on except the phone calls and one person with a sign right now. But the new commander at 1st Precinct, it's not. Well, yeah.
It's like the buddy system.
Well,
one of them is the police state, and the authoritarian.
Well, that's a whole other issue. Yeah. See, Timony, if you're watching, please come back to 1st Precinct, because these guys really do not know what they're doing, and the commander down there has no idea. Need someone with experience. At least Lombardo would come down and drag us into the middle of the street. That at least would be something. But, oh, that's right. He can't be near a protest any longer because of how violent he was. Even though all the other officers were saying, no, we're just here to protect and serve. Yeah. And I can say that considering how many people that are related that are in law enforcement of one type or another. Yeah. The realities of what actually goes on when the public isn't around, or what they actually talk about when the public isn't around. Is their job an easy job? No. 90% of you would not want to do their job because of the shit that they see and go through. I understand that. But that doesn't give an excuse. There's held to a higher standard. And when you know they could be doing other things that are more important as opposed to standing here, there's an issue.
These are two of them. There was two other people. Yeah, call Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, a ton of people have already called them right now, and if they're like the other ones, should be. No, you guys don't have to. We'll be gone before then, so you're out of here. Now, just letting her know, it's like, yeah, we're going to be out of here soon. Well, you guys can leave once we leave, right? You don't have to like do the shut off part. I understand, but I'm saying because that's normal even with the march or something. It's basically if there's not a ton of people, it's like, and he's already left too, so that's the whole thing. I mean, as long as he was here, we were going to be outside here. But since he's left, what time?
I leave when you leave.
No, can you tell me what time it is, or? Okay.
6:36.
Thank you. Probably like within the next 15 minutes.
Stop hosting white supremacists. Pretty basic standard. No book signings for white supremacists. Barnes and Nobles. Jerk move. Tell Barnes and Nobles to stop hosting white supremacists for book signings. No book signings for white supremacists, Barnes and Nobles. Pretty basic standard. If you're the white supremacist, you shouldn't have a book signing.
Just for update also, earlier today for local news, you had a turkey giveaway at One Police Plaza actually, where they were giving out turkeys to the community. So there are another side to stuff that happens. I try to show both sides as much as I can.
Just hosted Anthony Cumia from Opie and Anthony, inspired to be white supremacists. Then wrote a book about it, and then signed the book upstairs to the kids section. Yes!
And trust me, a lot of people got fed, and a lot of people are going to have a happy Thanksgiving where they wouldn't have had food.
Here's half of that. This is two of the people.
A lesson to be learned from this for everyone is if you're passionate about something, whether it's a street light out in your community, potholes, make your voice heard, take a stand, call your representatives, department head. If there's an issue, take a stand. You don't need large numbers in order to do that. That's how you bring about making change.
See what happened to NYPD didn't do nothing. They didn't beat up. But I'm just saying, it's part of your division. It's part of your division. You work for NYPD. So you don't have to be there to be, but you're still the same thing.
You guys are in first precinct. They weren't up.
Wait. Same thing. If I go to jail, watch this. Hold on, wait. If I go to jail, and I rob a car, and the guy in the car robs somebody, I ain't robbing no one, but I'm still complacent because I'm with that dude. I didn't get
Yeah, you've got like 3 of us here right now. Anthony Cumia actually left a few minutes ago, and if you look at the stream earlier, you'll see he came down the escalator, surrounded by about 15 private security that Barnes & Noble had, as well as 4 NYPD officers that had actually driven up, and we're in there to escort him out and across the street. We're actually going to be leaving in a few minutes because it was basically for while he was here. What I do know is that they had his area where he was doing the book signing completely locked down, as well as Barnes & Noble corporate and the store itself getting a ton of calls. Considering the book signing started at 6 o'clock and he left out of here by 6:30, I'm pretty sure part of it had to do with all the calls that they were getting, and also the low number of people that were probably coming up for book signings. And a lot of the people that went in were probably asking him questions about the protest outside. So, saying that...
I gotta go to...
Yeah, I know. And... Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I will see you in the front lines. I'm going to be back up later with something else. I won't go into it right now at this place, but I will be back up later. Thanks for tuning in.